legacy is not for what you build, it's what others carry forward because you have built it well. And that keeps me grounded. My personal philosophy is simple. If you want enduring change, develop people not just for the jobs they have today, but for the future roles you want them to play. And that belief actually.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. Today's conversation is a special one. We are joined by a seasoned professional whose leadership journey spans over 3 decades and multiple milestones in India's tech and consumer electronics industry. Mr. Gupta, it's a privilege to have you with us today. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Mr. Gupta has held various leadership roles as head sales and marketing academy, head channel sales, exclusive retail and modern trade operations, sales head mobile IT products and printers at Samsung Electronics, Acer and Tech Pacific. But to say that's all would be an understatement. Over the years, he's led nationwide product launches, pioneered channel and retail transformations, and enabled sales and marketing excellence across India. From managing high impact GTM strategies to embedding digital and Gen AI into modern sales frameworks, his ability to blend business insight with people development has been a consistent thread throughout.
That's very generous of you, Tanay. It's been a journey of continuous change, and I have been fortunate to have worked with teams that have made the ride both challenging and fulfilling.
That's exactly why, sir, today's conversation is going to be so valuable. So let's dive in. This is FaceTime with Leaders, and let's get started. You had such a dynamic journey across industries, roles, and markets. I'd love to walk you through the whole journey in your own words, like how it all started, the choices you made along the way, and what shaped your path into the current role.
Thank you. Yeah. It's been a long journey for more than 34 years of my professional career. I almost spent initial 24 years in core sales and 10 years into sales capability and sales enablement. And in the process, I worked across organizations. I'm an electronics engineer and master's in business. And actually, in my times, most of my peers, they were opting for software development careers, while I was more cut out for the hardware industry, more to do with the tech side. And my first company, which I joined, was ORG Systems. That's the Sarabhai Group of Industries. They were pioneers in India for computers. They were manufacturing super minis, and they were also working on the cluster computing those days for large organization enterprises. Actually, I'm talking about this early 90s. After joining, I quickly realized that the IT hardware industry in India has two kind of professionals required. One, to work on the system support side, and others on the sales side. I thought I was more cut out for sales. Hence, I decided to do my master's in business, and then, and that led my journey into the sales leadership. And I was somewhat fortunate to have worked with the leading IT companies of India and decided to move to core IT and distribution organization. I joined Tech Pacific, the erstwhile Godrej and Boys, and now Ingram Micro. Uh, there was the sole national distributors for many IT MNC brands in India for like HP, Compaq, Dell, IBM. I got great opportunity to learn both art and science of sales. And I led various channels and distribution markets then. I learned to establish new products and business development, manage market credits as well, also supply chain in very early of my career. Through partner and network channels, I did launches across product categories in different markets. With intense market working, I realized to develop and establish the market, actually one needs to be on a brand owner side. And that's when I opted to work for a brand owner. And I got an opportunity, thankfully, then to work with Acer in India. As I worked for Acer, I was among the early hires of Acer leadership roles. I led their distribution sales. I institutionalized their institutional sales and also was instrumental in setting up exclusive retail pan India. After a very promising sales stint in Acer, I joined Samsung to lead their Note PC and printer business as national sales head. I got an opportunity to work with the teams to lead establish mobile business growth for Samsung in India. As the organization was expanding their mobile business across, I led teams to establish general trade business. I established Samsung exclusive retail business and also worked on the modern retail business. While growing 7% to whooping 48% market share, it was tremendous learning opportunity to see business scale to number one mobile brand leadership position. Through this very exciting journey, I learned from the front, acquired business leadership as well as people leadership skills. I honed my skills to work and collaborate with teams, and I co created measurable, impactful business growth opportunities. Overseeing my this talent, the top management of Samsung gave me an opportunity to lead and establish Sales and Marketing Academy for Samsung in India. As organization wanted to build sustainable future growth, that's when I jumped into and grabbed the opportunity to skill and nurture young talent as well as leaders in the organization. By blending business challenges and people learning and development, I learned to contribute to growth of both business and its people. So if I take a pause, when I reflect on this journey, I have some key takeaways for the listeners today. And irrespective of whether you have worked in some organization or same organization or different organizations, as long as you find purpose and you are learning and building new competences and willing to find answers to the present business challenges, you will keep growing. And for that, you need to have one thing, which is growth mindset, which means embrace challenge, continue learning, and seek feedback for improvement. In my words, I say it three A's principle. One, inspire, attempt, and adapt.
Beautifully put, sir. And I think your example also such a nice example of how initially you figured that your purpose was towards sales. So you took that step, and that made it easier for you to even strive and go there because you found that thing that interested you. Sir, not everyone gets the opportunity or the trust to start with a blank canvas and build something that defines a category. But you've done that time and again across product lines and markets. When you're faced with that kind of responsibility, when there's no template and just expectation, what's your internal compass, sir? Like what guides you in laying the very first block of something meant to endure?
In the moments where you don't have any playbook, just expectation from the top, my internal compass is anchored in a simple but very powerful principle. I talk about start with clarity, lead with purpose, and build with people. Over my 3 decades of journey across the IT and consumer electronics sectors, I've often found myself entrusted with mandates that had no precedent, whether it was launching a new business vertical or transforming sales capability at scale, or even introducing digital first like retail experience. In such moments, I begin by setting clear vision, not only of the desired outcome, but of the impact we aim to create for customers, teams, and business. And that clarity becomes the first thing. It is equally critical to have stakeholder alignment. I believe success strategies are not built in isolation, but they are co-created. My first step is to listen empathetically, understand ambitions, anxieties, and aspirations of those involved, whether working with BUs heads in Samsung or building readiness for AI, Gen AI, or technology integration. My role has been to bring cross-functional teams into vision, giving them ownership and not just task. I have also learned to balance short-term wins as well as long-term thinking. Quick results generate trust actually and the momentum. But I was always ask myself is what we are building is sustainable? Will it scale and will it evolve? That mindset helped me drive both revenue and digital transformation, not just for the performance of today, but for creating resilience for tomorrow. And I personally, during such phases, reminded myself of a philosophy I have always lived by. Legacy is not for what you build, it's what others carry forward because you have built it well. And
Very
that
well said.
keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
It's I it ensures prioritizing capability building, culture, and clarity because there are real foundations of these anything meant to endure. So in high stake first brick moments, I lead with intention, build trust through people, and focus on creating something that lasts for long.
So then, like you said, that's asking the right questions to everybody, including yourself in the beginning, is very, very important. So, stepping into a role where you're not just leading people but shaping how an organization learns, grows, and prepares for the future, that's a unique kind of responsibility. When you took charge of sales and marketing at Samsung, I imagine there must have been a clear vision you walked in with. So, we would love to know what was that vision, and more importantly, how do you keep it evolving to stay relevant in a business landscape that never stands still?
Very good question, Tanay. Uh, when I first took charge of Sales and Marketing Academy at Samsung, I saw both challenge and responsibility to build not just capability, but readiness for the future. And I saw a gap which wasn't just skills, but the mindset. Uh, the business was transforming rapidly with increasingly digitalization, evolving consumer expectations, and growing role of technology like AI coming into play. But our enablement system was still focused on transactional trainings. My vision was to reposition the academy as a strategic engine for transformation, one that could shape performance, inspire people, and still instill a culture of growth. I've always believed that capability drives strategy, not the other way. So we shifted focus from short term skill development to long term behavioral shift and aligned learnings with a business outcome. We designed Academy to do three things again: create future proof workforce, that we did by embedding digital first thinking, and humanize performance through coaching and leadership training programs. And third, not but the least, enabled business agility. And that we did by making training conceptual and job oriented. My personal philosophy is simple. If you want enduring change, develop people not just for the jobs they have today, but for the future roles you want them to play. And that belief actually shaped my initiatives. in the organization. As an example, I would like to narrate here. I embedded a strategic business solution simulation based learning in our curriculum for young leaders before they even assumed senior leadership positions in the organization. And that really helped them. We coached young leaders to lead with empathy and adaptability. So, staying relevant requires humility. We regularly engaged with BU heads and sales leaders across mobile, consumer electronics, B2B, enterprise business, and even D2C to listen, learn, and recalibrate. We tracked market shifts, consumer feedback, and emerging trends to continuously adapt. Whether it is introducing AI tools, supporting omnichannel journeys, or even enabling growth mindset culture, we kept evolving. At its core, the academy is not about upskilling, it's about shaping capability with consciousness, preparing people not just to perform, but to lead, innovate, and adapt in this true VUCA or what we call Bani word. And that's to me is true responsibility and privilege of building something that's meant for enduring.
Adaptability, I think very rightly said that adaptability to situations at core, at principle is very important. Sir, with your track record of driving digital transformation across large, complex sales ecosystems, there's no doubt you've seen how technology can completely reshape the way we sell, lead, and serve. In your view, what's the one digital shift every modern sales leader must embrace today, no matter what industry they're in, to stay truly relevant?
Tanay, once again, congratulations for this question too. Thanks for asking this, and I'm sure this is going to be very relevant to today's leaders. If have to pick one digital shift that every modern sales leader must embrace across industries, it would be harnessing data and automation to create customer-centric, insight-led selling. In today's landscape, where customers are more informed and expectations are rapidly evolving, relying on the solely on the relationship-based selling and gut-based selling is no longer enough and valid. What has transformed us here is the way our teams operate by embedding data intelligence into every stage of sales cycle. That's from lead generation to post-sales engagements. When I look, when I took responsibility of Sales and Marketing Academy here, one of our biggest transformation was from training people on not what to sell, but enabling them on how and why of customers to sell, which is basically creating customer-centric mindset. This meant leveraging CRM analytics, sellout data, automation tools, not just for visibility, but for actionable decisions that drive outcomes. It's about creating a digital mindset. We enable teams to be more agile by integrating sales enablement platforms, automating repeated processes like utilizing tools like RPA, which is robotic process automation, and freeing up bandwidth for what truly matters to the salespeople, which is building trust and value creation with the customers. A principle I follow: digital should empower, not replace humans. And that's why we embedded Gen AI into the sales conversations. So our sales promoters could respond faster, personalize their experiences with customers, and anticipate needs more intelligently. For me, digital transformation is not just a tech upgrade, it's a culture shift. Truly speaking, sales leaders must move from being task managers to digital change agents. The digital divide today isn't about access to tools, it's about mindset. and adoption. The ones who stay relevant are those lead that adoption with clarity and conviction. So if you are a sales leader today, don't just ask tech what what tech you are using, but ask, are your teams thinking digitally? Are they selling with insight and not instinct? Are they learning faster than the market changing? And that's the real shift. And actually speaking, it's non-negotiable.
Sir, I think that was a great learning lesson for anyone who's looking at sales as a career. What you just said is extremely important and relevant for the years to come. Mr. Gupta, you've had a remarkable journey leading change across industries. So, as you look ahead, we'd love to hear about what's next on your path. Whether shaping strategy or contributing at the board level, your perspective holds weight. So, could you please tell us what the future looks like through your lens?
As I look ahead, what excites me most is opportunity to shape the future more deliberately from the top table. And having led transformational changes across sales, marketing, and customer experiences over the last 33 decades, now feel a deep sense of responsibility to channel that experience into broader impact uh, through governance, through mentorship, and building strategy at scale. I'm particularly drawn to board level of roles where I can contribute to future ready thinking, especially in sectors like technology, consumer electronics, and digital retail. And actually, this is my forte too. With the certification as an independent director and hands on experience with digital transformation, sales capability development, and customer centric design, I'm eager to bring a balanced lens of execution excellence and long term vision to the boardroom. At the same time, I remain deeply passionate about developing the next generation sales and business leaders. And that's why I have invested so much in building the sales and marketing academy at Samsung. Going forward, I want to extend this influence through advisory boards, my mentorship, and coaching platforms, or even building future focused leadership academies across other industries. The road ahead for me is about amplifying value beyond operational KPIs. It's about asking how can we build institutions that are not only agile, profitable, but also human, ethical, and future proof. What motivates me today most is creating an impact by mentoring leaders not only on business performances, but how they create sustainable, future ready business at scale. I see the future as an opportunity to lead from experience, to enable others to lead from with my confidence uh, in this Bani world. In addition to this, I remain open to engaging with progressive boards that are looking forward to blending strategic thinking, digital transformation insight, and customer centric leadership. I'm actually excited to contribute.
Any company would be lucky to have you on their board, sir. Mr. Gupta, over the years, we've seen technology and data reshape how we approach sales and marketing. But now ESG is starting to play a much bigger role in how brands connect and build trust. Given your experience driving customer centric growth, I'm curious how you see ESG principles shaping the way we approach sales, marketing, and retail engagement in the years ahead.
Over the past few years, I've seen ESG evolve from being only a boardroom checklist to a frontline business driver, particularly in how customers engage with the brands. And today's customers and consumers are not just buying products, they are aligning with values. And that shift is fundamentally reshaping how we approach sales, marketing, and retail engagements. I've always believed that trust, transparency, and long-term value creation are foundation for sustainable growth. ESG principles, whether it is environmental consciousness, ethical governance, or even social impact, all bring a new lens to that same belief system. They are now integral to how brands earn loyalty and not just market shares. For instance, in retail, uh, customers are increasingly looking for responsible sourcing, socially sustainable packaging, and energy efficient product options. They are rewarding the brands that provide them. From a sales strategy perspective, this means embedding ESG story into the journeys of customers not as a CSR initiative, but throughout to create a core differentiator of sales. On the social front, I've led initiatives that put diversity, equity, and inclusion and employee well-being at the center of the sales enablement. It's not just what we sell, but who represents us as a brand, both inside and outside the organization. From a governance standpoint, I have experienced firsthand how digital transparency and ethical data use are becoming make or break factors in how customers trust brands, especially in this new evolving D2C and omni-channel sales channels. In the years ahead, ESG won't be a separate agenda for the management. It will be woven into every customer interaction, every sales strategy, and every retail experience. Companies that embrace this shift authentically, not just to comply, but to connect, and will be the ones that would actually build brands of lasting relevance.
I think that is the way ahead. So, before we close, I'd love to hear a little about your recent experience with Directors Institute. You've been a part of our ecosystem for a while now, and it's always valuable to hear directly from leaders like you. So, what has your journey been like so far, sir?
My journey with the Directors Institute has been both enriching and purposeful. As someone transitioning from the into the board from a governance role after a long tenure, which we have spent strategically into sales and leadership roles, I was actually looking for a platform that could provide not just certification, but a real board level experience and insights. And Director Institute has delivered exactly that. Uh, the structured learning material has been a strong foundation, offering clarity on complex topics such as board responsibilities, regulatory frameworks, and risk governance in a very digestive format. What made it more impactful was the live sessions with boardroom experts, where real world experiences were brought to life. These interactions actually helped bridge the gap between textbook governance and the nuance of being effective board member. Equally valuable was the support which we received from the dedicated client success managers who ensured I stayed on track. And it's this ecosystem actually and the approach combining learning, mentorship, and personalized support that made the experience so unique. And I must thank again Institute for the same.
Sorry, thank you so much for those kind words, sir. I have to say, this has been an incredibly enriching conversation. The way you shared your journey, your experiences across industries, and the thought behind your leadership approach has been inspiring. It's not often we get such a clear window into the mindset of someone who's built a legacy and has sustained excellence across functions. So, thank you for being so open with that story and for sharing it with all of us today.
Thank you, Tanay. It's been a great pleasure of being part of this conversation. I really appreciate the opportunity I got through this engagement to pause, reflect, and revisit the learnings and experiences that have truly shaped my career so far. Thank you again.
Most welcome, sir. We're really glad we could talk together today. To everyone listening in, thank you so much for tuning into FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast by Directors Institute. We hope this episode gave you a deeper appreciation of what it means to lead with intent, evolve with purpose, and build with vision. Until next time, take care, tune in, and of course, have fun in your journey. Thank you so much.